This is from David. Neil Young criticizes festival sponsor Barclays over fossil fuel funding. Young says choice of sponsor for his London show with Bob Dylan doesn't work for me and claims promoters British Summertime jumped the gun. So Neil Young has criticized the promoters of a forthcoming London show for selecting the fossil fuel funding entity Barclays as a sponsor. Young is scheduled to perform alongside Bob Dylan at Hyde Park on July 12, 2019. And, to my knowledge, Barclays is basically their kind of Bank of America. That's like a huge corporate bank over there. Admittedly, when I was over there, I did have to use a Barclays ATM many times because it was the only option. So, yeah, I know that's like their main bank over there. Writing on his website, Neil Young Archives, Young said that the choice of the sponsor doesn't work for me. I believe in science, I worry about the climate crisis, and am deeply concerned about its massive global ramifications. And Barclays is investing in fossil fuels, as Neil Young is calling out. Young said he was trying to rectify the situation and that he was in discussions about finding a different sponsor. He'd apologized to fans, describing the incident as an anomaly, and cited lyrics to his 1988 song, This Note's For You. I ain't singing for Pepsi, don't sing for Coke, I won't sing for nobody, makes me look like a joke. Well put, Neil, and I have a fun story about that before we move on to find out how this resolved. So I used to live in Nashville, Tennessee. A lot of you guys know that about me. And my friend's girlfriend at the time was working an event for CMA. CMA is like the big music fest. It's the Country Music Association's music festival. It's this huge, huge event where the city is flooded with people. Half of them have an acoustic guitar in their hand and a United States tank top on. They don't have sleeves. They have a United States tank top on, and they look like they spend more time lifting weights than they do practicing the guitar. And in their mind, they're the next Johnny Cash. And who are we to say they're wrong? So that's CMA. Now, she was booking this event where she basically needed paid audience members, which we were only just paid in free food, and it was good free food, and an open bar. Yeah. And it was a concert by this band who isn't signed to a label, but they were sponsored by Mountain Dew. So the catch about this open bar that she didn't tell us about, all the free drinks had Mountain Dew in them, which I was not happy about. Not a big Mountain Dew guy. Kind of just wanted some whiskey on the rocks. But whatever, it was free. And this was a few years ago. I was a road comic. Didn't have a lot of money. So I was not going to pass down an afternoon of free food and free drinks if all I had to do in return was listen to some shitty Southern rock music. And yes, it was shitty Southern rock. But here's the part that's the kicker, based on what Neil Young said. At one point, the lead singer was talking to the crowd. Now, we all know we were paid audience. And he goes, "It is such an honor as an artist to be sponsored by Mountain Dew. Because as an artist, the most important thing for me is full creative freedom." And I looked around. I was the only person laughing. Nobody else laughed, by the way. I look around and I say out loud in a quiet room, did this guy just admit to a bunch of strangers that he doesn't understand the concept of irony? Nobody laughed, but I got a bunch of dirty looks and was never asked to do anything like that again. But it was fun for me. All right, so anyway, how did this story resolve, you ask? What happened with Neil Young? Hey guys, good news. Boom! Neil Young says Hyde Park show will proceed without Barclays as sponsor. Neil Young fought Barclays. Neil Young won this one. Rocker protested the bank's involvement, calling it a fossil fuel funding entity. Neil Young will perform at Hyde Park in London, England next summer after revealing that Barclays Bank would no longer be sponsoring the show. So long, Barclays. Hello, Neil Young. I wonder what Bob Dylan's take on all this is. I have a feeling he's just not even aware of it. I don't know. I'm not saying that Bob Dylan doesn't pay attention politically. Of course he does. I just feel like in recent years he has definitely slowed down a bit, right? I mean, that's fair to say. But kudos, Neil Young. Neil Young and Bob Dylan are still going to play this standalone concert in Hyde Park. July 12th, all tickets remain valid. The only thing that's changed, no more Barclays Bank, because they elect in fossil fuels. invest in fossil fuels, and that ain't cool.
Get your news on with Ron. Don't you wanna know what's going on? We're getting our news on today. Get your news on with Ron. Don't you wanna know what's going on? We're getting our news on today. You can tweet me an article at Ron Placone. We'll go through it together and